Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Why you so stressed? It's not that serious. And free your mind. It's gonna be alright. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Why you so stressed? It's not that serious. And free your mind. It's gonna be alright. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe. Find a tribe.
You're listening to Glory 93.9 FM. It's 33 minutes gone by the 4 o'clock hour, y'all. It's officially Girl Talk time. Here on Glory 93.9 FM, it's your girl Marisha in your company. Listen, I'm so excited about today's show, but y'all know I'm God has seen you through. You may not have everything that you want, but you have everything that you need. You've not lost your mind. You may have lost some loved ones. You may have lost some friends, but you are still here, which means that God has a reason. He has a purpose and a plan for your life. You should be excited about that. Excited that he still decided to lend you breath today. Because he could have said, okay, I tired of lending you my things. Give me my breath back. But he said you could keep his breath, which means that he has something that you have yet to do. He has something in you that you have yet to do. So you should be excited to be alive. I'm super excited today because we going in, buddy. We going in. It's too loud, eh? Sorry. Wow. I doing what everybody else is doing. Wow, that's powerful. Guys, I have a producer today. I can call his name like everybody else, but it's just pretty cool and exciting because I usually don't have a producer. But anyways, so super excited about today's show and today's topic. And listen to me, y'all. This Girl Talk summer series is a hot girl summer. It sure is. It sure is. Because the topics that we have and the people that we have coming up on Girl Talk for y'all, it's good. It's super. It's amazing. I'm so excited. So, like I do with every guest, I'm trying to remember the first time that I encountered this lady, and like everybody else, I really just don't remember. Like the first time that we officially met. Now I know the first time when she and I started to work together on a little situation, but I don't really remember the first time that we met. But I do recall the opportunities that we had to speak, and the very first time that we had like a real like get to know you conversation. Believe it or not, was in the old Wendy's in Palmdale.
Yes,
I remember the old Wendy's in Palmdale. So that was the first time we kind of had a little talk, a little meetup kind of thing. And then we just kind of been like, hey girl, hi, how you doing? You doing your thing. I see you doing your thing. You see me doing my thing. You doing your thing. It's good to see you. I love you. Appreciate you. Kind of thing. Just kind of cheering one another on from like in the corner over there somewhere. When we could show up, we could. When we can't. It's just how it is. So listen, I'm so excited. Most of you know her as the fire starter. But I met her as Felicia. I didn't meet her as Firestarter. I met her as Felicia. She's now Dr. Felicia. She's a doctor now, y'all. So I'm so excited to welcome for the first time here on Girl Talk and to the new improved Glory 93.9 FM, Dr. Felicia Archer. Hey, mama.
Hey, finally,
I know, right? Finally.
I'm
Finally.
so excited to be here.
Listen, so excited to have you here, man. So excited to have you here. So, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I have to let y'all know. Felicia just come from a wedding. She just came from a wedding. That's why she looks so cute. That's why her face beat to the gods.
Always extra.
They always try to say, well, where she thinks she going. Okay, Felicia been to a wedding, y'all.
Thank you.
She been to a wedding.
And I couldn't tell my sister no.
Exactly. And she looks beautiful. She looks gorgeous. This dress is fabulous. And her face is amazing. And her hair is awesome.
Thank you.
We can talk about that hair later.
Yeah.
We got to talk about that hair. So we kind of just have been exploring, Felicia, these topics that the Lord has given me for this show, for the season of this show. I don't know how much you know about Girl Talk, but Girl Talk wasn't always a one-woman show. I had a partner with me who has become a silent partner now. She was a vocal partner, but now she's a silent partner. And she was unable to continue doing shows on a weekly basis because her business has just kind of gone to the next level. And so her time is way more consumed. And I was getting ready to give up on Girl Talk. It really was. And then I got woken up one morning. The Lord woke me up and he gave me like 47 topics to cover for this season of Girl Talk. And then, of course, for those of you who were tuned in online, you were actually able to hear the theme song. For our radio listeners, I do apologize. We were having some little internet issues. But a theme song, everything.
Wow.
So cool. So we've kind of just been diving into so many different kind of conversations that affect women. And I contacted Felicia and I was like, hey, Felicia, so this is kind of what we dealing with. And, these are the topics that we're going to cover. You cool with this? You good? She's like, oh, yeah, let's do it. So today's topic is wife material. And now the hashtag for today's conversation is the fabric store too crowded. And is the fabric store crowded? And I want to make sure that we kind of set the tone for this conversation. So I want to make sure that before we get in, because I know once we get in, we could be in. So I want to set the tone for those of you who are interested in giving your thoughts, your opinions, your comments, maybe even your questions. You are welcome to do that. The call-in line is 828-3543. And if you'd like to send a text, you want to remain anonymous, or maybe you don't want to remain anonymous, you just prefer to text, or you can WhatsApp. The number is 828-2543. Again, 828-2543 to text or WhatsApp. And to call is 242-828-3543. For those who are tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter Periscope, you are welcome to make your comments as well, to give your suggestions, your thoughts. We may read 1 or 2 or 7 of them out loud. You're welcome to do that. Like and share the show. Like and share the show. My fellow DJs tell me that I don't say that enough when I do my shows. So like and share the show. My facey is out there. Like and share the show. All right. All the preliminaries are done now. Gosh, it's always a lot. Okay, so this concept of being wife material, Felicia, has kind of been the elephant in the room for me that I didn't really feel like talking about. I don't want to talk about it because I really don't want to hear y'all thoughts. I don't want to know what y'all have to say with me and whether or not y'all think I'm wife material or not. And so it's kind of been like that thing that you've been wondering about yourself, but you don't really have consistent conversations with people about it a lot because it's kind of like a little touchy thing, especially if you're a single female, especially if you're a certain age as a single female. We don't really, we don't like, no, don't run up on me like that. You don't know me.
You don't know me like that.
No, you don't know me like that. And unfortunately, the people just run up on us though. They do.
They just roll up on
They
us.
just roll up on you.
Especially the church people.
Oh my goodness.
But especially the church people. I remembered, Marisha, when I was 18 years old, the day I turned 18 years old, I had several prophets came to me.
Man, what they prophesied?
To give me the word of the Lord.
What did the Lord say?
And the Lord told them that by the age of 19 years old,
Stop it, Felicia.
I would be married.
Stop it.
to an international preacher. I am 27.
Whoa, mom.
I'm going to be 28 in September. And obviously, I am still single. So I don't know who lied. But I know the God that I serve.
He don't lie.
He don't lie, and he is not the author of confusion. Because at the age of
Wow.
18 years old, I wasn't even close to being nobody's wife. No.
Wow.
No. And I think it was because I was gifted, because they saw me in the church, and they just and I'm not saying by that their intentions was wrong, because sometimes people
Yes,
they
yes.
just see you in ministry, and a lot of
Yes,
times,
yes.
especially the older folks, they see marriage as a way of protection, because they
Yes.
don't necessarily want you to bring shame to the kingdom of God.
Right.
And so I'm not saying that their intentions was wrong, but I could say today that obviously wasn't God, because that particular prophetic word had a time limit on it. They said 19 years old. And so now here am I, 27 years old. And I could say that even when I received that word, I didn't run around the church or spit up or nothing like that.
You don't roll on the floor?
No. Because in my mind, I'm like, now God, you know, I ain't ready to be nobody wife. No, not yet. Like, I am still getting used to this preacher thing and trying to understand me and my identity and what it is you've called me to do. I can't be nobody wife yet. I don't even know myself.
Listen to me. I didn't have that experience.
Okay.
I didn't have that experience where someone was like, you're going to be married by a certain age. But, you know, people like to prophesy marriage on single women. So
I tried. Let me try to be him.
No. We just speak the truth. We speak the truth. We are very transparent here on Girl Talk. So there's, you know, people have said to me, things like, oh, I see you getting married really soon.
Mm-hmm.
That one's happened a lot.
Okay.
Since I was like 25, 26.
Mm.
Even before that, actually.
Okay.
I actually had a prophet describe my husband to me.
Oh, wow.
Tell me who my husband was, what he would be doing, and even details about our relationship.
Wow.
And also told me, you know, that this is kind of how, you know, marriage would work for me as a person, explaining that it would be different from other people. And I've had a lot of people, you know, do weird things, like walk up to me and say they see rings on my finger and like touch my finger, like weird things like that. Just like weird stuff. And then I'd have people tell me, oh no, I actually had someone say to me, I see you marrying this preacher.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So
right.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you see me marry me? You shot me. Me, because I have the spirit of clap back. I do. I do. That's my problem. My problem is I always want to clap back. I always have something to say. Jesus is still working on me in that area, that particular area of my life, because I always feel like I have to answer back. And, you know,
well, you pray for me and I pray for you.
Listen, we pray for one another.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. So my thing is, I've had so many encounters or whatever, so many experiences, but in my actual life, like in terms of the things that I actually believed about whether or not I considered myself being a wife or not, to be honest with you, for many years, it was a private thing that I felt, but for many years, I didn't want to be married. I didn't want to be somebody's wife. I was not interested. Because I didn't see marriages around me that were appealing.
I agree.
For a really long time. And so I was just like, you know what? I could just let y'all think that I in this waiting game because I don't really want to open up this conversation that y'all ain't ready to have.
Yep.
So I was kind of just doing my thing. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't dating. I was dating, but
you was dating for fun.
I was just having fun because I was like, yeah, no, marriage. Wife.
Listen, sis. Well, this is Girl Talk Live, and you talk about being transparent. I had someone when I was 21 told me God say that I'm their wife, and I sat down and I laughed at them, and it's like, so you ain't taking me serious. I said, man, I was only dating you for fun.
Wow, Felicia.
I wasn't my mind in there. I said, God, he tell me that.
Right.
And you know, up to this day.
Felicia say, Felicia say, oh my God. Go ahead.
And so basically, he proposed, but I did not accept because
Now, hold on. I got to ask you this question, Felicia. I got to ask you this question. This person tell you, go ahead, say, you was their wife. Did you have a relationship with this, like a genuine, actually real relationship with the person?
we wasn't in a committed relationship.
That was friends.
We was friends and we was dating. Like we went out for
Right,
lunch and
right,
Starbucks and whatever else.
Okay, okay.
And in my mind, I'm a 21-year-old. I'm in college.
Right.
I'm thinking this girl. I'm not. This is actually going to end in marriage. I'm not thinking about the future. I have a book out schedule. I'm preaching every night. I traveling.
Right.
I trying to finish college. I trying to write one book and do all these things. And so when he said that to me, I laughed. I didn't take him serious, and I'm like, God say, I is your wife. And he was like, we've been dating for X and X amount of time and all these other stuff and what's not. I say, bruh, I said, I ain't gonna lie. God didn't tell me that.
He didn't tell you that way.
Yeah, I said, I said, I'm not going to be the typical preacher just because they're getting older. They want to just hurry up and marry somebody.
That's good. That's good.
Like marriage for me is not an idol.
That's good.
It's not an idol because a lot of times in the church we begin to idolize marriage.
Yes.
Or not even marriage, the wedding itself, not
Yes.
recognizing that the wedding has nothing to do with the marriage, because we've seen so many beautiful weddings, but check them a year later, check them 3 months later.
Yeah.
That person is never they're no longer together.
Yeah.
And so for me, I honor the institution and respect the institution of marriage so much that I will not go into it unprepared.
That's
No,
really
sir.
good.
Not because I could cook and clean or because I carry myself well means that I'm marriage material. No.
That's really good.
At the age of 21 years old, I was honest enough with the person that I was dating, and I said, buddy, I'm ready for that yet.
really
I
good.
don't want to mess up your life.
That's really good.
Like keep your ring
Mhm.
and let's just continue to be friends.
Right.
Yeah, like
He had a ring.
Yeah,
My God.
he was ready.
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 Wow.
He'd already initiated a date to go and talk to my dad. And I'm like, no, buddy. I ain't even finished college yet.
Wow.
And so I could have acknowledged that at the age of 21 years old, I was not ready to be a wife. Nope.
I want to ask our listeners something. And for those of you who would like to call in, text in, I want to know what y'all think is, I guess you could say, makes a woman wife material. I want to know what the thoughts are of the people out there, because anyway, I can tell y'all why after y'all tell me what y'all thoughts are. So those of you who are tuned in on Facebook, those of you who are listening in your cars on the radio, the number to text is 828-2543. The number to call is 828-3543. I want to know what you think makes a woman wife material. That's what we want to know. So I think the biggest I guess you could say requirement that I've heard people say as a single woman, and I want to make sure we qualify this conversation as well. I need you guys to understand that this is two single women talking here. That's very important for you to know. And we ain't married. We ain't never been married. I've been close to it, but I don't think that counts because I was like 17, 18.
Oh, yeah.
that don't count.
Yeah. We ain't counting that today.
No, I don't count because 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't ready to be nobody's wife
Mm-hmm.
like you.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, my experience was different. My experience is very different, and life could have been very different for me.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been extremely different for me.
Thank
I
you,
could
Jesus.
have listen.
Shando.
I could have been married now
Mm-hmm.
with like I probably would have had like 4 children by now,
Mm-hmm.
living in Turks and Caicos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could have been a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been married for quite a while by now.
Yeah,
because I'm
very long
33 now,
time.
so I'd have been good and married.
Yeah. Seasoned.
Seasoned. Probably uneducated though.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Probably uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
So we honor the Lord for how he
Shando.
turned it around.
He did.
For me, one of the things that people always said to me, and of course they was talking to me, about what a wife should be, what the qualities of a wife are. They always used to say that a woman should be seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, in particular, let me not do that. Let me take ownership. The way I received it was that they was telling me I was too loud, I was too boisterous, I talk too much, I have too much of an opinion, I have too much to say, I need to hush. That's the way that I took it. I took it like, oh, y'all have a problem with the fact that I like to say things and I like to say a lot. And I like to say what's on my mind. So there was always negative connotations, unfortunately for me, attached to being somebody's wife. It made me feel like I couldn't be who I was. So for me, the idea of getting married when I was younger was this idea of like losing myself, losing my identity in another person. And then of course too, with the experience of my past and the relationships that I was in and the foolishness that I was doing as a young person, not understanding the seriousness of relationships, not understanding like what I was really getting myself into during that time in my life. It was just like, oh yeah, that's my little boyfriend, whatever, you know. I mean, everybody's have them, right? So why not just have a boyfriend? Because I had the influences around me would say one thing and do the next. And of course, I can follow what you do and not what you say. So even though you're telling me I shouldn't have a boyfriend because I'm too young, but you got like two. Because I didn't meet your two boyfriends. And you don't let them cross paths. So why I can listen to you? You know, that kind of way. So I was just like, I don't know. Like, I didn't want it. I didn't want to be married. I felt like I was going to lose myself. That was the biggest thing for me. And I also wasn't interested in taking care of anybody. And from my perspective, in what I had observed in other marriages, it seemed like women were taking care of men. And I really wasn't on that run.
Taking care of them now in which way? You
I wasn't
being a domestic.
I wasn't into cooking for nobody. I wasn't into cleaning behind nobody. I ain't washing your clothes. No, seriously, like this is the negative view that I had of marriage.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that people understand that this is no longer my view, because I want y'all to say, well, that's why Marisha ain't married, because she ain't gonna do nothing. That's not what it is. I'm just telling you that
what it was.
The picture that was painted for me was not one that I was attracted to, because it made me feel like it wasn't about the benefits of what it could do for me and for the other individual. And it was definitely not about God. It had nothing to do with God. It's about the fact that, you know, after a certain age, it can be hard for you to have children. You need to get married. So I just was like, I straight, you know. And it took years, Felicia, for me to actually have a change of heart in regards to marriage. I don't think that I really, really desired it until, like, from a pure place. From the place where I had a healthy understanding and a healthy desire of it. I don't think that happened to me until I was in my 30s, and I'm only 33. So I don't really think that like a healthy desire and a sincere prayer concerning whatever my future looks like actually began for me until I shifted into my 30s. And I honestly could say it was the Lord that changed my heart. It was him, because in my nature and in my character, I was just like, I wanted it, but I wanted it for all the wrong reasons. I wanted it because I didn't want to be alone. I wanted it because other people had it. I wanted to be a wife because I didn't want nobody to think, well, ain't nobody want me, like something wrong with me. You know, and I for all the wrong reasons.
I can recall I was once in the same place as you, simply because I did not grow up being surrounded by examples of healthy marriages. I was between two homes, my dad and my biological mom. And so, of course, as a result, I really was kind of turned off when it came down to relationships.
Right.
And when it came down to marriages. However, though, I just wrote a book and I released it on Valentine's Day, The Single Preacher.
Right.
And one of the things I talk about in the book is there's no command in the Bible that says thou must be married. So we have to get past this thing in the church where we feel as if every single woman is going to get married. No, marriage is not for everybody.
Wow.
Let me say that. Marriage is not for everybody. Now, we can desire marriage, but there are some people, and we can not knock them because they don't have a desire to be married.
Right.
I have came across some females in the church. They don't care to have children. They don't care to be married. They're just interested in becoming their better selves, etc., and that's on them.
Wow.
And I mean, they appear to be content and
Right.
what's not. Now, however, how they work out the other situations
Right,
and whatever
right.
else, that's between them and God. That's not my place.
That's powerful.
Exactly. That's very powerful. Glory be to God.
I am not one of those. I am not.
I am not.
I
But
am not. Jesus,
but-
you know. I am not.
But after a while, one of the things is you have to know your identity before you
Yes.
even decide to date,
Yes,
because
yes.
dating is simply an exchange of information. The word dating comes from the word data,
Yes,
which means information.
yes.
So literally it's just an exchange of information. I remember for 6 years I didn't date nobody, I didn't talk to nobody, I didn't go out with anybody. I just basically used that time to come into my own and to get to know Felicia. Now,
really good.
during that time, I had a group of people in the church said to me, "You too busy. That's why you ain't married yet. You want to be preaching all over the place and traveling and what's not. You need to slow down." So, in other words, you're telling me that I need to stop fulfilling my assignment to wait on a man. I do not believe that that is the will of the Lord. And now
Wow.
I believe in balance, and balance it means a different thing to different people.
Yes, it's different for
So,
everybody.
exactly. So it's not just everything that works for you, it might not necessarily work for me.
For sure.
And so at the end of the day, I was dealing with a group of people in the church who said, "Oh, you need to slow down. Oh, you're too strong and you're too this and you're
Right.
too opinionated
Right.
and all these other stuff." But I challenged them and I said, "Listen, the man that God has for me will not be intimidated by my strength,
That's
by my
good.
power, and by my authority as a woman. Because as a matter of fact, I would be doing him a disservice if I don't be everything that God has called me to be in the earth. Because the man that God has for me, he will complement me, and we
Yeah.
will work hand in hand together to
Yes,
fulfill
yes.
the assignment that God has for both of us." And then on the other hand, I had a group of people basically saying "Oh, you need to try date this one and date that one," and throwing their sons on me, praise the Lord, and calling me into some, we like call people into meetings and with the church mothers and all these other things,
And they like set
and
you
they're
up one
praying
day.
over you and they're
Yeah,
anointing
yeah.
your finger and they fasting and they taking your picture off of Facebook. And listen, I done been through it all. But I am beyond all of that. And
Wow.
Marisha, I am enjoying the journey. I am enjoying the experience. And one of the things I always tell people is keep your dating life private. Not because you don't see me with nobody means that nobody in there. Amen.
very
Glory
good.
be to God.
We honor the Lord.
We honor the Lord. Amen.
Yes.
And so, at the end of the day, too, when we talk about marriage material, we look at it from a worldly perspective.
Yep.
Someone who could cook, someone who could clean, someone that's beautiful, someone that probably has a career, come
Yeah.
from a good background.
Right.
And that right there is shallow, because I believe that God is raising up men who need queens in this season.
Okay.
And see, a queen is not about putting Remy in your hair and putting on makeup, but God is raising up a group of queens for kings in this
It's really
hour
good.
to take dominion. Because you have to understand something. The Bible says, "He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtained favor from God." The man that God has for you will not know what favor feels like until he meets you.
Wow.
Which means that you have the power and the authority to help him to help him in his kingdom assignment. One of the things I always tell people, I studied the eagle and I talk about it in my book, The Single Preacher. Before a male eagle could mate with a female eagle, she picks up on something from the ground and she flies to a certain altitude and she
Right,
drops
right,
it.
right.
That male eagle has to catch it, and she continues that process. And every time she continues that process, she gets a heavier object. that is
Wow.
actually equivalent to the her size or her weight. And if that object drops and that male eagle doesn't catches that object before it hits the ground, she moves on, which means that the person that God has for you must have the weight and the capacity to carry you.
Wow.
Okay. Listen, I
Wow.
don't know why I feel like preaching, but let me calm down up in here because this girl talk. But on a serious note,
Yeah,
we don't have to
yeah.
decrease who we are as women in today's society, whether we are in the church, in our career fields. We don't have to decrease who we are for a man. That is not the will of God. The man that God has for you will have the ability to carry your weight
Wow.
as the head. He will have the ability to carry your weight as the head. And so at the end of the day, we are the only group of people who would just date someone once and you had a vision and a dream, this your husband or this your wife. Really? Really?
Oh my god.
Really? No, you have to ask a lot of questions. Dating is so important. I was just telling someone on the way here, my parents been married for the last 35 years. And I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I said, why, how did y'all survive? Because of
Mhm.
course it wasn't always easy.
Right.
And she said to me, she said, Felicia, she said, I took my time and I married my friend. That's what she said to me. I married my friend. I said, what you mean? She said, because some days when I come home, I don't want to come home to my husband. I want to come home to my friend. I want to come home to someone who I could be goofy with, be myself with, let down
That's
my
really
hair
good.
with,
That's
etc.,
really
etc.
good.
And someone that actually understands me.
Mhm.
See, but a lot of times we don't take the time to build a foundation. We just rush straight into marriage
Yeah.
and not understanding that it's a journey.
Yeah.
And everybody is in a different season. Everybody has a different race, a different grace, and a
Yes.
different pace. I remember Bishop Denzel Rhodes said something to me. God bless you, so I know you're listening. I just listen to you, you know.
Well, he might not be listening today. This is anniversary. Happy anniversary, Pastor
oh.
Denzel and Lady Robin.
Yeah, well, when you hear the replay, sir, because you might be doing some things. Glory be to God. I see why the church in here. Amen. Let me start. He said to me, he talked about the 3 stages. He said the first stage is communication.
Mhm.
Communication is so important. Then from communication, then you have commitment, then you have
Yes.
completion.
Yes.
But a lot of times, and then you have passion, but a lot of times we put passion first.
yes.
We put
Yes.
passion and then we wake up 2 weeks later after when we didn't say I do and commit. It's like, mother sick, who I just get married to?
who's
Who
this
is this person? I didn't know you scared like
Like,
this when you
What
mad.
our friends say, there's a stranger in my house.
There's a stranger in my house, and that's a serious thing. I didn't know you just throw things when you get mad.
Listen,
Wow.
listen, because you didn't take the time to be mad
Exactly.
while you were apart.
My God.
Wow. Listen to me, Felicia. I think that one of the greatest, disservices that the church has done for us as women is made it seem like marriage is the completion of who we are,
Yes.
and made us feel as though we are inadequate as women because we're not married and we don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. I get that it is a pre-existing desire for us from when we're girls. Really, we start playing with dolls, and Barbie have a
Yes.
Ken,
Uh-huh.
and Barbie and Candace have a baby,
Uh-huh.
and that's just it. And then we got the big baby doll that we play with, as
Mhm.
you know, because that's our baby, and we practicing how to take care of things from we're children. We're practicing how to be a wife
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from we're children as girls. Traditionally,
Yes.
I don't know if that's still happening with how they used to be raising these children these days. I know I can't
Yeah.
speak for Generation Z. I don't know what's going on.
A lot is going on. Sis.
I don't know what's going on.
Like a lot is happening now.
I told Delta the other day, I don't really know if I feel comfortable with them even classing me with millennials. I don't even know
Because
how I
we
feel
even
about
have
that.
the whole issue now of homosexuality.
Yeah, and use a they and
this
use a
this.
them, and
Yeah.
you identify as a us and
Yes,
whatever.
yes. Yes,
Whatever.
and even now, parents now, they give the child
the opportunity,
to choose which
I
gender
don't
they want to
understand that.
be.
What you mean choose?
Some days they
What
want
do
to
you
be
mean
a
choose?
boy. Some days they want to be a girl, and other days they don't want to subscribe to any gender.
It's so much going on out there, but I think that's the biggest thing for me, that for my girlfriends who are out there, what we would want you to know is that, like, just because you're not married yet, just because you don't have children yet, it doesn't mean that you're incomplete as a
Mhm.
woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's so important for us to say. We're talking about being wife material, and it is a privilege and an honor to be someone's wife.
Mm-hmm.
But before I become somebody's wife, I'm a whole person.
Yes.
I have passions, I have desires, I have goals, I have dreams, I have aspirations, I have things that I want to do and I want to accomplish. And like you, Felicia, they have told me that I was too busy. They
Mhm.
have. They said, you ain't got no space for no man in your life.
You just run the man.
He can't take you nowhere because you always, you always in church, you always doing this, you always doing that. And I always used to sit back and think to myself, well, well, if he can't deal with this now, what gonna happen when he marry the person?
Mm-hmm.
I always just say to myself, well, so if I unbusy myself and pretend like I don't like to be busy, and then when we get married and then he discovers that I like to be busy,
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna happen then?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so I always just, like I said, it was a part of the negative, point of view for me. And then one of the things that I learned um in the last 3 years, it was kind of like an eye opener for me. And what the Lord did was he showed me what could happen if I allowed him to direct the connections that I made in life and the relationships, if I allowed him to guide me, if I allowed him to show me who to connect to and who to not connect with.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced to me in a very intimate way the concept of true divine connections. When someone is in your life and they're not, like Tyler Perry says, that leaf that changes in every season, but they're like the roots that kind of hold you together and that sharpen you, that speak into your life, that are there for you to lean on and to cry on or whatever, and to push you into the place that you need to be in your life.
Yes.
And that's when it hit me. It hit me that one of the reasons I'm confident that in my late 20s, I did not have the ability to be somebody's wife was because I could not die to myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was selfish.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Everything was about me.
Mm-hmm.
Even the service that I would give to others
Mm-hmm.
was about making myself feel good to serve them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about meeting their needs from a genuine place of love and care and support.
Mm-hmm.
It was about how serving them made me feel.
Okay.
And that was something that
That's
the Lord
real.
had to deal with me in a real way, because I recognized that like everything that I did had a I me motive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I was a wicked person and everything was about me, but I realized that in my heart of hearts, that was a part of a problem, an issue that I had in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I would always turn back to look at myself after I would have done something for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And if I felt like they didn't say thank you the way that I wanted them to, or if I didn't feel like their response to me was what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
then in turn I would tell myself I didn't do what was necessary to please that individual.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it turned into, I guess you could say, a matter where it wasn't even about the individual's pleasure. It was about me
Mm-hmm.
thinking or believing whether or not I had pleased them for true
Mm-hmm.
or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, with maturity, I began to recognize that was actually a tool that the enemy was using in my life, even when it came to ministry. And I shared that on the show 2 weeks ago with Pastor Cleopatra Williams, and I shared with her and the listeners how the Lord exposed to me
Mm-hmm.
that the enemy was using. He literally was using this as a tool to put me in a place of low self-esteem on a consistent basis, where I was constantly looking for validation
You
from
are
other
your
people.
biggest critic.
And it was more than being a critic, Felicia. I would feel like a failure if no one said anything.
Wow.
And then I would literally tell myself, I'm not going to do this thing anymore because I didn't feel validated in that particular area or however I was serving.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said it was something that the Lord had to deal with concerning me, because he had to show me which part of it was me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to show me which part of it was the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am not afraid to say that there are some things that are just me,
Mm-hmm.
because You know what I mean? I mean,
Mhm.
saying I don't know how y'all is be talking to yourself. I talk to myself. I know who I am. I know the crazy things I could do. I know my stupid moments, and
Mhm.
I know that I am not always my best self.
Mhm.
So there are definitely elements of those times in my life where I knew it was me, but then there were moments where I felt like I was being oppressed. Like
Mhm.
I literally felt like it was a weight on me. Like this is not me. Like I'm not this selfish person. Like this is not who I am.
Mhm.
And I recognized that all the enemy needed was a door,
Mhm.
was one door.
Yep.
And once he got in, that one sin opened the door to every sin and
Mhm.
every kind of iniquity and every kind of opportunity
Mhm.
for him to gain access to my life.
Mhm.
And so it was something that I kind of had to walk with God with concerning. And I had to say, God, I need you to change my heart, first of all, because there are elements in my flesh that are not right. And then, God, I need you to show me the enemy.
Mhm.
I need you to show me when he's coming.
Mhm.
I want to see him before he comes.
Mhm.
I want to see him before he comes. And that element of self, I guess you could say, discovery for me is what made me start to search and start to truly desire in a healthy way this idea of somebody being in my life who demands more from me than anybody else in this world will.
Mhm.
That is not just this individual who I had in my mind in the past negatively that I have to serve them, but this person who I have the honor and the privilege of serving because they've said yes to me and I've said yes to them. And it's
Mhm.
my ultimate goal to ensure that what matters to them matters more to me than what matters to me.
Mhm.
And I didn't like that at first. Y'all don't want to tell the truth. That's your business.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell the truth.
Tell the truth, honey.
I did not like it at first,
Mm.
but then I recognized how powerful it is when two people have someone in their lives that causes them to check themselves on a regular basis.
Yes.
Because God resists the proud.
Mhm.
And one of the things that the Lord showed me, Felicia, is that marriage is so. I'm a single woman now, y'all. So y'all don't come after me and tell me I don't know about marriage. I'm telling y'all what the Lord showed me. Okay. What he showed me is that it is the most humbling experience if it's done right.
Yes.
It will humble you.
And it's a beautiful thing. Jeez, I just come from a wedding. How crazy is that? It is.
It's one of the most humbling things.
Yes.
And I look forward to it. I know how you feel. I look forward to it.
I do as well. I can confidently say that I am at a place now where I am open to what it is God is doing in this season of my life.
Mhm.
And, I'm grateful for my relationship with God because
Yeah.
through my relationship with God, I'm discerning now that my season is shifting and my focus has changed a lot.
Mhm.
Dealing with
Mhm.
some personal things as
Yeah.
it relates to my relationships,
Yeah.
especially not just platonic but more so romantic relationships.
Yes.
And God is at work.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that he is at work, and I'm grateful for all of my dating experiences. It has been a journey, but honestly, I can sit down and say I've had a beautiful dating life. Like,
Awesome.
I've had a
That's really
beautiful
good.
dating life because
Most people can't say that.
yeah, I've had a beautiful one. I mean, shit ups and downs, but for the most part, it's been a beautiful one because at the end of the day, nobody is perfect.
Right.
And you have to understand whatever you expect from that person, you must also be able to meet
give,
your own
yes.
expectations.
Yes.
And so I don't expect anything that I cannot give.
That's really good.
So my expectations and everything is in alignment. And I'm just grateful to God for everything he's doing in this season of my life. I'm looking forward to marriage. I'm looking forward to kids. I love kids. And I'm just looking forward to serving my husband and serving the vision that God has given him.
Mhm.
Because not only will I serve him, but he will in turn serve me.
Mhm.
Because see, a lot of times too in the church, we just think that submission is one-sided.
Correct.
And I have challenged that on so many occasions. Listen, if I am going to submit to a man, he must also submit to me. We are in agreement. We are one. And so at the end of the day, how can two walk together unless they agree. They must first agree. And anything that has two heads is a monster. So there must be a level of submission. And it doesn't mean that because I submit to a man or because I serve a man, that makes me less than a woman.
That's really
Or see, and then a shallow perspective is that a submissive woman must be quiet. Not necessarily.
I think it's very close-minded.
Yeah, it's very
to label the personality of an individual based upon how they serve another individual.
Yeah, because a lot of times people would tell me, "Oh, I don't think you're ready to submit to a man." Miss, mom, sir, you don't know me, and so
The
not
Lord
because
bless you.
the Lord bless you and keep you, amen. So not because I'm a strong preacher means that I am unwilling to submit. And I always tell people, talking about wife material for the fellas out there, see how that woman submits to her father and her pastor. That will give you an idea of the type of female that you're dealing with. I am so proud to say that I submit my gifts and my talents to my spiritual father, Bishop Neil C. Ellis. I have been talked about because of it. I've been called a fool because of it. I've been told I need to go hurry up, open up one church and all kind of craziness. But I'm grateful to God that I learned the power of submission and the power of the exchange, because his weakness becomes my strength, vice versa, in a relationship.
That's
and
so good.
Yes. And so, at the end of the day, ladies, don't be afraid to submit. And it's not easy. And don't just submit to any and anyone. You don't want to find yourself submitting to someone who don't have a sense of purpose or a sense of direction or a sense of their own identity.
Yes.
But you want to submit to someone who have a vision. He might not be charismatic. He might not come speaking in tongues, because I could be real and honest. Not everyone who I dated is Shanda Mahanda, Hila Mahanda. As a matter of fact, I told God I didn't want to date no preacher. I don't want to marry a preacher. I don't want and I know they probably could bust me open because of it. But
I said that before in the past too.
I don't want to marry a preacher. But if it is the Lord's will, I've opened myself to it. I don't necessarily want to marry a man in ministry. My thing is, as long as he loves the Lord and he loves me as Christ loved the church, he's not intimidated by me, and he has a sense of direction, and we could get along as friends. Listen, let's make things happen, eh?
Yeah.
Why waste time?
Yeah.
I necessarily, be a man of prayer and all that good stuff. But I don't necessarily need you to just have the form of godliness, because a lot of times women, we run after the form. Oh, he's gifted, he's anointed. That's why we target single preachers, male preachers, because there's a small ratio of single male preachers. And so everybody, all of a sudden now God speak to you and tell you go join that single pastor church. Glory be to God. Because you just watch him on Facebook Live, and because you're now attracted to his gift. And so now you join a whole ministry thinking that quote unquote it was God, but because you believe that man is your husband.
Listen to me. I want to broaden that up a little bit more, because
add some spice to that.
Listen, it's not even just about the idea of placing yourself around a single preacher. Some of us, we just place ourselves around like single men of affluence, period. That's just what we do. And I don't know, like,
and then we get catty.
Yeah.
Because now when another single sister join the church, or you see another single sister around, that's the reason for a lot of division amount in the church. And not just in the church, even in society in general. And I'm not saying don't position yourself and whatever else. But listen, at the end of the day, I strongly believe that the Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from God. My last guy that I dated, Marisha, I was in my house. My hair was bushy. During the pandemic.
Right.
Minding my own business in my house.
Right.
The person happened to stop to the house.
You don't happen, but anyway.
Yeah. happened. No, they was doing some work, and I live in a gated community, so
Okay,
well, I
right.
lived, and it was doing some work, and so
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
spot on, and
Okay.
yeah,
All
that's how
right then.
that's how that
Okay.
situation went down.
Right.
But I say all that to say this: wherever where you are in life, if that man is for you, God will divinely connect you. You don't have to get catty. You don't have to lower your standards. You don't have to fight against each another female in the church for a single preacher. Listen. Oh gosh. Let me
Ah.
stop because there's so much I want to say, but I gotta remember we on air, Marisha. And you know me and you just get deep. You see, last time we closed down, Wendy is in there talking for hours.
Oh man, I think the thing that I kind of want to throw out there is this question of who does what. Who does what? And I want to be specific concerning that because I know y'all saying, Marisha, what do you mean? Who does what? So
Who does the pursuing?
I don't even want to say that because we like who name we like to call whenever. So especially when they're talking about
Boaz.
when they're talking about Christians and getting married, they like to talk about Boaz. So I remember that was like maybe I don't know sometime recently. Dalton and Vera were talking on their show, That Good Morning Tea, and they was like, Dalton was like, so y'all know Boaz like died like a year after that, right? Like y'all know he wasn't even around. Like she ended up being a widow again. And I say, no, wait, I know true. So you know what we did? I went to go to
Right.
old Mr. Google,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked Google. I said, Google, when
So you're trying to
did
tell me that's anyway.
hold on, I can do it for you right now. When did Boaz die? Oh, Boaz died. I say, yeah. Boaz was 80 years old. Ruth was 40. And Boaz died after the wedding, Felicia.
He died after a year after. How long after the wedding? Now let me read. Let me see that.
Listen to me,
No,
ma'am.
they just say you have to see it to believe it. Read it one more
Ma'am.
time.
Scroll.
Oh yeah, Boaz, the son of Salmon. Yeah. Oh wow,
So, okay.
I didn't even know that.
So,
You know, buddy, better come tell me God said it, man. I understand the context. You said it.
I don't listen. If you try to make some sort of analogy and some sort of reference to Ruth and Boaz, I don't want a Boaz. I don't, because the dude died. He died, y'all. He dead. He dead after the wedding.
Right
After all of that time, Ruth was gleaning. She
Mhm.
gleaning in front of him,
Wow.
setting herself up, taking instructions from Naomi. Now listen, now you go here, you go do this.
You go at his feet. Lay
and
down
get
at his
go
feet.
do what listen, do exactly what I tell you what to do.
Mhm.
You're going to go lay at the feet of a man and then he get dead
Oh.
for you to end up, because keep in mind now, the issue with Ruth and Naomi was Naomi said to Ruth, listen, boo, go back to your family because I ain't got nothing for you. I ain't got no more sons. I can't help you.
Mhm.
You need to go.
Mhm.
And she says, no. I ain't going.
Your
You,
people be
my
my
people,
people.
my God could be your God. So after all of that deep moment, the deep spiritual moment, your people will be my people. Your God.
It's about that.
It's gonna be my God.
Jesus.
He was her kinsman redeemer, or whatever y'all want to call the man.
Mhm.
And then he turned around and dead.
Wow.
And so she
Was a widow again.
was a widow again. Now mind
But
you,
now she was a rich one.
she was a rich widow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be.
I agree.
I don't want to be a rich widow.
I agree because I can need that little thing.
I do not want to be
I agree.
a rich widow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think sometimes we need to be careful as women. The things that we say, man, y'all, the things that we say and the approach that we take. I've heard so many older women not do this to me, and I thank God ain't nobody ever do it to me, but I've seen them give instructions to other females in my age bracket who are single and tell them, no, you got to put yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
you need to go where the single men are and you need to, make yourself look available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever had Nobody ever said it to me. There was a word I was going to say and I can't say it on there. Nobody ever said it to me.
This camera on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nobody ever said that to me. So I'm just really grateful that nobody ever said that to me. But I've seen it happen to other people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so okay, you're blind, you
Mm.
can't see.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I said this to somebody yesterday. Yesterday was no day before yesterday. I say, okay, I walk into a room, my hair purple, my lipstick pink. I beg, I fat. How you can miss me in the room? It's
Mhm.
impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you deal with your persona, your ladies or that. I don't know how you, but I just say it. When I walk in the room, especially with this highlighter shirt on I got on today,
So
you
you look
can't-
beautiful, honey.
you can't miss me. You're
Beautiful.
not going to be able to miss me. But what I'm saying, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that to say this, that whether or not you are someone like me or you are who you are or wherever you find yourself, do you have faith enough to know that the man who needs to see you can open his eyes and see you wherever you are? Like where is your faith concerning the whole conversation? And I think that is what I guess should be at the foundation of course, everything that we do as believers, but even more so, everything that concerns us in reference to being in a relationship with somebody. Like, where is your faith concerning this thing? Because I'm not saying that I can be stuck up in my house all day, because I don't like
Oh,
house
no.
like that. But what
We
I'm
could be
saying is,
outside.
it could be out, just road. But
Oh,
my
sorry.
thing is, like, what do you believe concerning this thing? And I think that the disservice that some of our older mothers have done to us in the church, and even just older women in society, talking to other single women, telling us to put ourselves in compromising positions.
I agree.
And I think that has been the thing. Has that been? No, that ain't the thing would bother me the most. I guess something else would bother me. But that's one of them.
Okay.
That's one of them. That idea that I have to put myself in an uncomfortable place in order to be seen. Like, why would I put myself in an uncomfortable place, feeling to be seen by somebody who probably ain't really, because I uncomfortable. So if he in a place where he is and he comfortable and I there and I uncomfortable, more than likely this could be an uncomfortable situation, because he's probably gonna want to continue to go to that place where he was, that he's comfortable in,
Mm-hmm.
and I can be like, well, I really was only here for you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and vice versa.
I agree. And then the thing about it is I think at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be true to yourself. Now I have some single sisters, they always in prayer meeting. They always at church. Now I personally would tell them, listen, you gotta go out, get out the
Yes,
house, change
yes.
that dusty robe, get your hair fixed, look nice, go out, look presentable, look the part already. But don't get so caught up on the external that you miss the internal, that you don't do the groundwork, that you don't work on yourself and you don't go through your process of healing. Because let me tell you something, whatever you do not be delivered from before marriage or work on before marriage will only be magnified in marriage.
Everything's magnified.
Everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. But again, there are some things that you have to work on, and you have to be able to do the groundwork before you actually walk down the aisle and say, I do. You have to acknowledge, hey, you know what? I selfish. I need to work on this, that, etc., etc. But see, the problem is too, in the church, we just highlight the external, look the part and go out and do this and do that and do all these things, but no one telling these ladies, listen, I think you need to go to therapy because you was abused growing up as a child, or I think listen, you need to go sit on a couch and get a good cry session in or whatever, because you still got daddy issues. Because these are the real issues that we're dealing with sometimes that will indirectly or directly impact our lives and ultimately our relationships.
I think that the number one stigma that I want to remove is that there is even a concept of wife material, period.
Yes.
That we should be encouraging one another as girlfriends to be our best selves.
Yes.
And try to erase this copy and paste element of our generation, that we borrow so much from people that we have to literally erase everything. We gotta pull away all of the different, I guess you could say, levels of who we are as an individual, and then we have to go through this process of rediscovering who we are, because we've borrowed from so many people for so many years. We've been so pretentious, we've been so fake, that we don't know who we are, because somebody has told us, well, this is what this role that you want to have or fulfill in your
And
life
this is how
looks
you
like,
should
and
look.
this is what it should look like,
And what you should do.
and this is how you should do it.
Mhm.
And I think we've done that for so long that we have now those women advising us, the generations prior, are now telling us to do the exact same thing they did, knowing full well that it got them a husband where they sleep in separate rooms.
Hello. And they don't want to talk about that. And not just a husband where they slept in separate rooms, but a husband who have 10 children with your neighbor
Wow.
and with the community.
I was trying not to go there.
Oh no, but I just saying, like, that's the reality.
But you went there.
Yeah, I went there. So it's okay.
Yeah.
I can handle the fire. But it's the reality.
Yeah.
And or husbands who would beat them, but then they would sit up in church and praise the Lord with a black eye. But
we're
see,
not faking generation.
we're not, no. And things that our mothers and fathers, God bless them, would have dealt with and put up with. We are a generation of women. We will not handle it. We will not put up with your foolishness. Now, God bless those who will do it, but you ain't got me like a conch. I'm like we say in Bohemian terms. I'm not gonna be married to you and the whole and you have 5 different children of wedlock. No, sir. No way.
It's powerful.
No way. This is powerful. That's abuse. We ain't putting up on with
It's
that.
not only that, it also lends to just, the direct correlation of what you believe about yourself as a woman, because what you put up with is definitely a direct connection to what you believe about yourself. If you don't demand from, even in your friendships, not even talking about relationships, if you don't demand a certain level of respect in your friendships, it's definitely not what you're going to get.
Agree.
You're not going to get that. I had a situation that I dealt with recently.
But not to cut you off, you shouldn't have to demand respect because you attract who you are. So if you respect yourself, you will attract who you are. I remember this girl, I got a phone call, maybe like last year. She called me. She said, oh, the guy who you dated, he used to abuse me. I need to just put on a show for you. And I said, sweetie, let me tell you something. I don't know what type of abuse you went through with him, but he has never, I appreciate the information.
Yeah.
But he has never once, I don't know if he was dating the same people.
Right.
But I have tested him long enough and dated him long enough to tell you that was never my cup of tea. You know why? I respect myself. Hog nowhere to rub their skin. Because what he used to get away with her, he wouldn't even try.
Right. I think one of the things that I guess I would have wanted to know as a little girl was that it's okay for you to do everything and anything that you want to do by yourself.
Yes.
I started really believing that I could do whatever I want to do at a kind of like a later stage of my life. Not saying that I didn't do things, because I did some pretty cool stuff. But in terms of like walking in the purpose and the call of God on my life and being fulfilled in what I do and who I am and what God has called me to do in the things that I put my hands to in my career. I went to a Bible college. For those of you who don't know what the environment of a Bible college is like, just take your church environment and multiply it by 1,000,000.
Yes.
Because everyone that I graduated with, I think everybody married.
Okay.
I'm confident that everyone, and most of them were married before we graduated. Most of them were in relationships by the end of the first semester of our first year.
Wow.
Most of them got married while we were in college, because ring by spring. That's just what it was.
Ring by spring.
Ring by spring.
My God.
So you start in September
Mm-hmm.
and you got a ring by spring.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wedding by fall.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the kind of environment that I was in. And I just want y'all to like picture this for a moment. Just imagine me, just me, me, but like a way feistier version of me, much more feistier version of me. Looking at all these people around me, saying to myself, "So y'all really getting like,
Mm-hmm.
this, like someone's marrying you. You are going to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
You could be somebody else's husband." And like that's how, honestly, y'all. Okay, y'all ain't want to tell the truth. Y'all ain't want to make it seem like y'all is judge people. Y'all not be judgmental. I was judging.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so you can be somebody else, man. Somebody could be dependent on you,
Mm-hmm.
like just period. And I was just like baffled. I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all right. So this is different. And I think the difficulty for me was like, so this thing what you doing here, this college thing, this a game for you, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, it was like, no, I'm here to do like to
On a mission.
become
Yes.
like who God has called me to be. Like I ain't really
Mm-hmm. I ain't ready for this. Yeah.
yeah, I can come to your wedding,
Mm-hmm.
but so you don't see anybody on campus that you like? No,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't. Ain't nobody here. Nobody, no one. But you know, we have this guy here. I mean, yeah, he cute, but no,
Mm-hmm.
no, because I mean, no,
Mm-hmm.
because that ain't what I come here for.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think that we can look at this several ways. We can either approach this in a way where we look at women individually, or we continue to have these conversations with sweeping generalizations that cause us to be in our feelings hurt, offended, broken, and feeling left out. I feel like that's basically the two options we have.
Mm-hmm.
Either we address one another as individuals according to our specific situations, nature, nurture, and experience,
Mm-hmm.
and call of God and purpose, or we continue to say, well, all y'all women need to stop being thirsty and whatever.
And putting everyone in one category.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that is the greatest disservice that we do to one another as humans, not even just as women, as humans, that we generalize human beings based upon their similarities, not understanding that it is our differences that make us great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is our differences that make us unique. So this idea that I am going to be the typical girl, woman, female, I don't know, whoever you
College, marriage, have children.
Yeah, like
retire.
why do I have to fit in that?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to fit into that mold? Now there are some things that I desire that probably, are what we call typical, but so what?
Mm-hmm.
So what? So what if I decided, okay, I went off to college right away and I got my degree right away, and that's something that I accomplished. And so I fit in a typical mold of, by the time I was like 25, I had 2 degrees. Okay, cool, fine. I fit in a mold there. But that doesn't mean that now you must attach me to another mold.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so fine. I did that thing that most people do. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But even the way that I did it was still not the way that they did it.
It was
so
not the traditional
no.
way.
And so I think that that's one of the things that we do when we talk about labeling somebody as wife material. Like that label cannot be a sweeping generalization. It can't just be, well, yeah, you wife material, or no, you're not. It has to be, I am somebody's wife, because I am convinced that if the God of all creation is intentional enough to create me the way that I am, with my little, my little tendencies, my little quirks, my little idiosyncrasies, the things that I like, the things that I don't like, my little pet peeves and all of that, I'm pretty confident that he created somebody who is going to be able to put up with my 30 pairs of shoes and my closet just wrap around the room. I mean, like, somebody gonna have to put up with it.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And so I think that the greatest disservice that we do to ourselves as women, and this is something that we're doing to one another, is we put ourselves in general categories, and we rob we rob our girlfriends of the individuality, of the uniqueness of who we are as women.
Mhm.
You are you, and there is no one else on this planet
Mhm.
that has lived, that will ever live, that
Mhm.
will be you.
Exactly, exactly. And at the end of the day, to thine own self, you must be true. There's
We don't
no
know how to do that though.
we gotta be true. And see, a lot of times we do these photo shoots and we put these major statuses up and captions up on Facebook. But sometimes I wonder, do we actually really take the time instead of just copying and pasting? But do we actually take the time out to read and let that particular status or caption, that powerful status, actually sink in to thine own self? Be true. And that means you have to be
I
your
don't think we know
authentic
how.
self. Sometimes that even requires you stripping your soul naked and actually trying to decide what it is who are you, first of all. You have to know your identity, because it makes no sense to get to know someone else and you don't even know you. If someone was to ask you, Marisha, what inspires you? Who inspires you?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what makes you mad?
Mhm.
It's beyond so what's your favorite color and this and that? It's beyond all the
That's
shallow stuff.
good. That's
What can I
good.
do at this phase in your life to help you accomplish the things that God
Do you
has
even
put
know
in
what
your
you
heart?
need?
Do you even know what you need? Do you even have a plan? If a man was to ask you, how can my vision for my life and your vision for your life that God has
coincide?
given you
Yeah.
merge
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
but still have harmony? What
Mhm.
is it we believe God has called the both of us to do? These are the elevated conversations that we must be prepared to have, but we cannot have these elevated conversations, one, if we do not know who we are. You are different. Do not put yourself in the mold as everybody else. You are different. You are unique. You are special. Marisha, I can't be you and you can't be
Noble.
me.
Mm.
And so at the end of the day, I am me and you are you.
And I can't be nobody else but me, boo.
Exactly. What makes me laugh, it might probably make you upset or make you angry,
Yeah.
and what you might tolerate, I might not have the tolerance level
Exactly.
for.
Exactly.
And so, and that's why it's so important. Again, you have to take the time out, and I can't express this enough, to get to know yourself.
Yes.
During my 6-year period, I wasn't talking to nobody, dating nobody, looking at nobody. I was dealing with the woman in the mirror.
Awesome.
And it took time for me to heal because I was abused as a child. I had all kind of issues going on.
Mhm,
That's why I
mhm.
know when them prophets come. But 19 years old, I said, oh, shoot. This man, he
They mean
must,
another Felicia.
they
not
must
this-
see, they had to be meaning another Felicia, because it couldn't be me. Because
Oh my god.
I knew that I was not prepared or not ready. And so I encourage you females to do the groundwork. There is no such thing as quote unquote wife material. It goes beyond the cooking and the cleaning and looking
No,
beautiful.
that's necessary.
Yeah,
Just
it is
do-
necessary. Oh, yeah, it's necessary.
It's necessary.
Yeah, it is. But however,
You
though,
need to know how to clean.
yeah, but it goes beyond all
It's
of that,
beyond
because
that,
at the end of the day, even if you can't cook or clean, you could always hire someone to do that.
Yeah.
But there's some things that your husband can't hire someone to do.
No.
And that comes with providing emotional stability
Yeah,
and support and having a prayer life and all
Mhm.
these other stuff.
Yeah.
Providing him with a safe space, a safe
Yes.
environment,
Yes.
tranquility. That's what men really desire.
Yep.
A sense of respect and all these other stuff. But again, don't just focus on the external,
Yes.
but focusing on the internal, understanding that there is no one fabric. It's not a one
Yes.
size fit all type of thing. No,
And
no,
one
no.
size fit all clothes don't fit good anyway.
Exactly, because I put on a couple of pounds now, so they don't even fit me that right no more. I just have to wear one size fit all in my house, because if I come with a one size fit all, y'all go wonder what's going on.
I know, right?
It's the Lord, the last time we met, I was size 2. Nah, shoot, I can't even call it size I just wear now. So pray for me as I pray for you.
Bob, you could be just fine. You could be just fine. You could be just fine. We getting ready to close, and I think one of the things that one of the lessons that I've learned lately, this is a fresh one, is to change your perspective as a believer, to not be a pessimist, but to always approach every situation and circumstance with optimism. It is the thought process that we have as human beings that often determines what we believe and what we say. So, what I think about constantly, the thoughts that I entertain, they directly influence what come out of my mouth.
Yes.
And what comes out of my mouth directly influences my life
Yes.
as a believer. And so one of the things that the Lord has been teaching me how to do is to be optimistic in every situation, no matter how dark it is, no matter what the physical circumstances look like. He's been teaching me how to truthfully have hope that blossoms and blooms into faith. I lived so many years of my life, Felicia, in a place of hopelessness. And the Bible tells us that faith is the substance of things hoped for. And I realized that a major part of my life as a believer was void of true faith because I had no hope. I didn't believe that things would ever get better for me. I didn't believe that I would see change and transformation in my life. I didn't believe that certain things were for me. I didn't believe that I would experience certain things, that certain things would happen for me. And so, I lived in a place of pessimism where I was expecting something negative to happen. And when the bad thing happened, I was bracing myself for the next bad thing. I was bracing myself for the next bad relationship. I was expecting to be lied to be cheated on, to be betrayed. I was expecting the relationship to come to an ugly ending. And I did not even realize that because that was my mindset and what I was confessing, it was what I was experiencing. And it seems like something really simple. But let me tell you something. When you are accustomed to living your life in that way, to break it is one of the most difficult things that you could do as a human being, to break the way that you've been nurtured, the way that you've grown as a person. You have to change the way that you think about even the most simple of things, as the fact that you come home and you realize we are the dishwashing liquid. Because in the back of my mind, the old Marisha be like, see, when the time ain't nobody else see the dishwashing liquid was going on and they couldn't go buy the dishwashing liquid. And immediately I would approach something as simple as there not being any more dishwashing liquid in a negative point of view, instead of approaching it this way. Wow, I can't believe that on my way home, I didn't remember to pick up the dishwashing liquid because I saw the bottle was getting low the last time I was in the house, and I should have just, made a quick stop. So what I'm going to do is when I come home tomorrow, I can make sure there's some dishwashing liquid there. Making like something as simple as that. That might not seem like a big thing, but it was the way the Lord dealt with me concerning it. He showed me that, something as simple as this doesn't require a negative response. It just requires you a negative reaction, but it requires you responding in a positive way to remedy a situation and to create a solution. It's not always about sitting in that place of complaining, in that place of, I don't know why somebody else couldn't make this right. So I think that in our approach to this concept of relationships, of being single, of being married, wherever we find ourselves, even if in reference to like our careers and our journeys, our passions, the purpose and the call of God in our lives, I want to challenge us as women to be optimistic. I told you the hashtag for this show was is the fabric store too crowded? And my answer is no.
No, it isn't. It isn't. The fabric store is not too crowded
because I'm that person who go in the back of the fabric store and I can tell the lady, no, I want that one.
As a matter of fact, all of us are wearing a different fabric.
I want that one in the back there. I know it, Dusty. Give me that one. That's the one I want. It have the right stretch. It have the right color, the right pattern. And plus, all the rest of them, you won't have enough for me. My body big. So I want that one.
To thine own self. I think I think at the end of the day, to thine own self be true.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to shift your mindset
Yeah.
and even deal with your belief systems.
Mhm.
And because at the end of the day, I remember growing up as a child, I had a dream, as simple as me having a dream. People would always say, "Oh, you can't be no author. You can't do this and you can't do that." And so eventually I started to believe that.
Right.
But I remember after getting saved, one of my
Mhm.
favorite scriptures was, "Whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things
That's
are lovely,
good. That's
whatsoever
really
things
good.
are of a good
Yeah.
report, think on those things."
Yeah.
And so I started to change my mindset with a lot of stuff that I went through.
Mhm.
I used to ask God, why me? But my response now is, well, why not me? Obviously God sees that I have the strength and the courage to go through this. And so
Mhm.
if God has brought this particular situation to me, he has given me the grace to walk through it.
Yes.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but you are with me. And so
Yes.
no matter
Yes.
where I find myself in life, I know that God is with me.
Yes.
And so I just want to remind someone out there, you might be feeling a little bit lonely
Yeah.
and a little bit down and depressed. And guess
Yeah.
what? Me and Marisha, we have our highs and we have our lows. We might sound optimistic today, but tomorrow I might be like, girl, today's a rough one. Pray for me.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's a part of life.
Yeah.
Life is a mixture of good and bad.
Yes.
It's life happens in seasons. Some days you're happy, some days you're not, some days you're joyful, some days you're not. It happens. But as individuals, we must just embrace it to know that this too will pass.
Yeah.
The storm did not come to last. Every storm, every hurricane that we would have experienced here in the natural in the Bahamas, it did not last.
Yeah.
Even your storm has an expiration date.
Yeah.
And so that's why we must continue, no matter what, to trust God, trust his plan. He said, listen, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans of good and not of evil, plans to bring you to an unexpected end. And so no matter where you find yourself on this journey, prayerfully you will meet the person that God has for you. Just know that God has the master plan. You got to trust him.
He know what he doing.
He know exactly what
He knows
he's
what he's
doing, and
doing.
you don't have to compromise. You don't have to settle. My bishop would always say, if God orders your steps, he will also order your stops.
That's good.
A good man's steps is ordered by the Lord, but not just his steps, but also his stops.
That's
So
really
whenever,
good.
when the appointed time has come, when your Kairos season has
Yeah.
come,
Yeah.
Kairos is God's time. When that
Yeah.
has come, when God sees that you're now ready and prepared to embrace this person that he has for you, whether you're 30 or 54 or 60, God will allow you and him to meet.
So good. That's so good. I pray that you guys, you ladies, whoever you were tuned in today, y'all was just like giving us a whole lot of support in the comments. Y'all ain't really say much. We still appreciate y'all tuning in though. But we want to thank you guys, and we pray that you were encouraged and lifted and motivated at something that was said today. And I want to say something to my married girlfriends out there. Y'all talk to your single friends, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us.
Yeah. We want to
Talk
hear your
us.
advice.
We want to know, like,
But a lot of them, all they say is, don't rush into marriage. I'm like,
tell us. I want you to be real with us. We want you to be real with us, but
give
don't
us the
just-
good
yeah,
too.
the
Give
good,
us
not
the
just
good.
the bad, man.
Because everyone is just telling me, don't rush into marriage. If you keep telling me that, you're making me scared.
Listen,
Jesus.
Lord God. So help us out. By it's just painting a picture that's a little bit more beautiful than the ones that you've been painting before. We ain't gonna say it was bad, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for tuning in. Let's just get some names in here who's tuning in. Athera Evans, Cece Burrows Wiley, Janet Doe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kim Hannah, hey Kia Lynette, Raquel Mins, hey Boo, I see you. Hey Manilia.
Raquel Mins is my girl. Congratulations on your book.
Yes, on her book
True
release.
Vine
Awesome.
did that.
Awesome.
I thought to plug that in.
Awesome. Hey Listra always watching my show. Love you, Boo. Hey Anthony, Noriel Coakley, Donnell Johnson. Hey Xavier, that's my girl Xavier.
Hey.
Emanuela, hey Emanuela, and Carla Camp, Hendrys Clark, Catherine Benamy II. Love you, appreciate you, hon.
Hey, girl.
Paris, Saunders, Simon, hey boo, and Florian Dean. Listen, Thank you.
Mm.
Let's just say I ain't a woman, but I listened to the entire thing. I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you too, sir. Say hi to your wife for me. Tell Chantel I say hi. Give her my love. Listen, I am just so grateful for all that you've shared with us today, Felicia. I so appreciate your presence here and the sacrifice that you made to be here today. And I want to encourage, like I was saying, married girlfriends, y'all help us single girls out. Help us out for real.
Help us out,
Help
man.
us out. Show us, prepare us, talk to us, because we still think we know everything and we don't. So help us out. And then also to my single girlfriends who are listening to this show now live, or who may be tuning into our podcast whenever it is that you listen to this show. Be encouraged, man, to be yourself. Be the best version of yourself that you can be, and be optimistic. Put your faith and trust in God. And if you don't know God, get to know him. Get to know him. I promise you, a relationship with God will change your life. It will transform the direction of your life. I'm telling you, I am telling you, there is no better relationship than a relationship with God. A human relationship is absolutely a joke compared to walking with God.
Yeah.
And so that's my encouragement today. Okay, Felicia, before we go, this is what we do. This is what girls do.
What we do?
We talk about things.
Oh yeah, tell me. I
Talk about things.
Yeah, talk but
So this
Mhm.
this little fit of the week here by our sponsor, the Catwalk Boutique. My girl Gia, the Catwalk Boutique.
All right.
This is perfect for someone now. Let me tell you what I crushing on, because y'all could
I
tell
want that
think
bag.
That's that bag.
Yeah.
So the bag is $45.
Mm-hmm.
The necklace is 50 and 60. And y'all, if I get the price wrong, I might Gia, Theta, don't chop me.
Well, that's a
Um,
discounted price.
I think
Use Marisha code.
$30. I think the necklace. Y'all don't quote me. I think I know. I can't remember how much the necklace is, but the dress is one size fit all.
Okay.
That can't fit me. So one size fit most,
Okay, fit most.
because my little thighs and legs can't fit into that dress, and they're not little. My big thighs and legs can't fit into that dress. But I love the ombre look. It's beautiful. It's
Mhm.
gorgeous. For those of you who are listening and you can't see it, it's a white into orange ombre dress. And listen to me, this necklace is the business.
That's nice.
It
That's a
has nice minty,
Yeah. And
springy, corally, orangey.
summerish
Yeah, it has like a
feel.
nice feel to it. This
Nice on a cool
bag,
date,
yes,
Marisha.
and because we outside.
we
dating now.
outside this summer. We dating, child. We getting ready.
We outside dating in the
Mhm.
heat, and my makeup running. But anyway, um, the handbag though is the business. It has some straw tassels. It's a nice, cute straw bag. Nice little short hand strap for you, to hold. And actually, it can hold some things. It ain't small.
It ain't too small.
No, but it
looks
ain't too
pretty
big.
strong too.
Yeah,
It's just right.
It's a nice bag. So check out my girl Gia at the Catwalk Boutique. Listen, you will not be disappointed. They carry size 0 to 3X. And I know I switched from numbers to letters, but yeah, 0 to 3X. She got shoes, she got jewelry, you name it.
She got
it.
everything.
She got it. You name it, she got it. So check out my girl Gia at the Catwalk Boutique. Y'all, I came into the studio again without my lipstick. If somebody else asked me for this lipstick color and I'd forget this lipstick another
Listen,
week.
this lipstick is gorgeous.
So y'all who is watching my statuses and see my little posts, y'all know I killed this lipstick. This is my most favorite lipstick in the world. And if y'all tired of seeing my purple and my pink lips, then just don't look at my pictures.
It's gorgeous.
So this lipstick is from Black Opal, and I can't remember the name of it, but I got it from Eye Candy Makeup Store. Check out my girl there, Talia, at Eye Candy Makeup Store. She can hook you up. You need to get this matte lipstick in your life. My lipstick don't move.
They need to name that after you now.
Listen to me. That's what I'm
This is
saying.
nice.
I feel like
You
they
need a
should
ma-
call
I
it
feel
Marisha
a
lipstick.
makeup line in your
Oh,
spirit.
Jesus. Y'all like, come and sign these things to my life.
Come on, Holy Ghost.
Between you and Sharika, I can kick the two of y'all out of my studio.
Yes.
Listen. Y'all, we gotta get out of here. Felicia was
Tell
done
them where to
wedding.
buy their weed
She-
from.
Nah, Felicia, hold on. Hold on. So Felicia, everybody know Felicia is do book publishing. She's been doing that for a little while now, right?
Mhm.
So Felicia gone in a whole pandemic and come out of the pandemic selling weave.
Sell it with.
My God.
My God.
My God.
Signature bundles. Anyone that knows me knows that your girl like to look good.
Right.
And I love hair.
Right.
But I was having a lot of issues finding the
Decent quality,
decent
yeah.
quality hair without
Mhm.
spending an arm and a leg locally. And so I went ahead and I did some experiment during the pandemic because,
Mhm.
of course, you talk about being
Yeah,
optimistic,
yeah.
finding the opportunity in every crisis. And I
Right.
said, listen, I got to make some money.
Right.
I got things to do. I ain't got
Mhm.
no husband yet
Exactly.
or whatever. And so the Lord laid it on my heart. He gave me
Mhm.
the name signature bundles for your signature look. And we've been in business now for the last 2 months. You can find us on Facebook, Signature
Mhm.
Bundles and
Mhm.
Accessories. We provide and we provide our clients with high quality 100% unprocessed virgin Remy hair,
Mhm.
grade 12A only. Grade 12A
Nice.
only.
Nice.
And so we sell frontals, closure units, bundles, the whole 9 yards. And you could go ahead and check out my Facebook page and see your girl love hair.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's all about turning a passion into a profit right now.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I'm grateful for everything that the Lord is doing. Also, if you want to write a book, you could hit me up as well.
My
True
gosh.
Vine Publishing
She
and
doing everything.
Listen, you got to do it. I don't.
Doing everything.
You have to do it. God has equipped us to get the job done
Yeah.
and to profit from our passion. And
So
so I'm
y'all check out
grateful.
Felicia for your hair.
Yeah, challenge. Check out
Check her.
Marisha for your makeup,
Hush.
lipstick, and
You hush.
everything else. I speak in it.
You hush.
Shando.
You hush. Listen, y'all. Let me tell you what's coming up on Girl Talk. Today's the 10th. So next week is June 17th. Y'all don't call me a heathen. I did not change my life. I'm still a woman of God. I promise you. But listen, I think that is so great, and I'm so excited that next week, Thursday, I'm going to have Roxy Star here in studio with me. And this
Awesome.
conversation is going to be hot.
Yes.
Side chick, no more.
Oh, Jesus. Let me drink some water on that.
So Roxy's going to be here next week. I'm so excited for that conversation. And then the following week, Wendy, my girl, Wendy.
Williams?
Yeah, Wendy Lewis.
Okay. Lewis. Yeah, sorry.
Wendy Lewis is going to be here in studio with us. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about, the fact that, like, y'all, I know we just come out of a pandemic, and I know before that it was Hurricane Dorian, but listen, y'all, dreams really do come true.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And there's nothing wrong with you going after your dreams with reckless abandon. I'm so excited to have that conversation with her. I've known Wendy for a very long time. She was a few years ahead of me in high school, so I'm so excited to have her come on the show, Wendy Lewis Night. She's going to be on our show on June 24th. And then July 1st, my girl Bodine is going to be here. And listen, y'all, I tell y'all, it's a hot girl summer. I told y'all.
It's a real hot girl summer.
It's a real hot girl
I
talk
come
summer.
dressed for the occasion.
So Bodine's going to be here on July 1st, and we're going to be talking about being passionately paid.
Mhm.
How to turn those passions
Into profit.
Into profit.
Yes,
I'm so excited.
Where the money resides.
Listen,
Where the money
I
resides.
got to be where the money resides. So listen, that's what we have coming up on Girl Talk. I'm so excited for this season of Girl Talk. It's unlike any other Girl Talk season we've had so far. So I'm super excited. Listen, we say this every week. Get you some good girlfriends, man. You need you some good girlfriends. Find your tribe. Find those ladies, those women who can be your support, who can be your friends, who can be the ones whose shoulder you lean on, who can be the shoulder to cry on, who can be the iron that sharpens iron, who can, hook you up when you need that little hookup, because every now and then you need a little hookup.
Yeah, man.
Get you some good girlfriends, y'all. Make sure you are intentional with your relationships. Make sure that you understand and you're intentional, and you be that good girlfriend as well. Don't just go out there looking for it. Be the girlfriend that somebody else will need. We gotta go. It's 6:04. I got a live recording to go to for 7:00.
Oh, Jesus.
So
All
gotta
right.
go make a quick wardrobe change. And Felicia gotta go because Felicia been to wedding and all day.
Yeah, Charlie been wedding all
Wedding.
day. But thank you so
Wedding,
much, Felicia,
listen,
for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming.
Don't
y'all.
let it be the last.
I'll try
I'm
not.
going to invite myself back
Right.
if that's the case. I just
Like
show
a
up and
good
knock to
preacher.
the door.
Like
Yeah,
a good preacher.
I am now. Or the Lord has sent me.
Listen, definitely we got to get you back. But listen, y'all, thank you so much for tuning into Girl Talk. Listen, it's been another amazing show. We gonna see y'all next week. Until next week, y'all, we gone.
All right.
Gone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Find a tribe.